Alright, welcome back to Flight Sim 2024. Welcome back to the Neofly series. This is of course episode 45. And just as promised in the previous episode, we are back in our trusty bright green Kodiak, parked on the ramp here. It is late afternoon here in Port Moresby, so we're at Jackson's Airport. And we're going to be doing a sightseeing flight. So if I just tab over to Neoflight, here we are, Port Moresby. We're doing a sightseeing flight up to the Isurava Memorial Site, and we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 passengers on board. They're all loaded up and ready to go, and they obviously want to see this site and take some pictures. So that is the plan for today's flight. Let's jump aboard and start getting things prepped and ready to go. So the first thing I'm going to do is get the battery on. We can do beacon and nav lights. Okay, let's just make sure these are good. That's set. We'll do bypass. That's done. We can turn these on, get those set. Okay, then aux pump ignition. Check, check, check. Low start. And we can go low idle.
You're good to go. Contact the tower for clearance.
Okay, generator, alternator, avionics, and aux. Pitot heats, taxi lights. Aircons are on. Good, good, good. QNH 1009. Alright. Okay, flaps for takeoff. Rudder trim full right for takeoff. Right, I think we are good. Just need to have a look at exactly where we are going. Okay, we are good. We're just going to be navigating visually. I have a kind of rough idea of where we are going. We're going to take the shorter runway. No, sorry, the longer runway, but we're going to depart from the intersection. So let's get out of here. Let's try not butcher him with the prop. Okay, so left, and then we're going to take off to, sorry, right-hand turn, left onto the runway, and we take off in this direction. Then it'll be a left-hand turn out over a bunch of villages, and then to the Isurava Memorial Site. Keep an eye on the time as well, because the sun is going to be setting. We've chosen the nice late afternoon because it makes for nice pictures, but we just have to keep an eye on how much light we have left, or how much daylight we have left for flying as well. Okay, landing lights, strobe lights. condition too high. Right, there's our power, and off we go. 60 knots rotate. Airspeed's alive. There's 50. There's 60.
Have an enjoyable trip. It's a great day for it.
There we are on the climb out, flaps coming up. Watch for the nose dipping. You can trim for about 100 knots. Rudder trim moves so quickly, I've got to actually be more careful with that. There we go, that's better. Nice gentle left-hand turn. We'll go up to about 3,000 feet to start off with. We might need to go higher. We do have a little bit of cloud, which may pose some problems. Get everything trimmed out nicely. That's pretty good. I'm gonna bring the prop back now. Go to about 2,000. Some more of that rudder trim out. Oh, we're almost center on the rudder now. Okay, we'll just keep our gentle climb here. I think we're gonna have to keep going because we are heading into the mountains. Beautiful late afternoon. there's a way to adjust the trim sensitivity, because I'd actually like it to just trim a little bit less every time I click it. Okay, we are going. We're gonna have to keep climbing, because it's about there that we're going. It's past AEI, so it's about here somewhere. And that's already into the red, so we do have to keep climbing, but we don't have to climb particularly fast. I do want to keep our airspeed up as well, because obviously we're running out of daylight. Keeping an eye on this cloud. We're going to try and sneak to the left of it, so we can just keep that high terrain in sight. Otherwise we got 145 knots, that's pretty good. Yeah, 5,500 feet now. And we're just going to do this all visually. No particular routes, no particular altitudes. Just obviously need to keep an eye on the terrain and the clouds. The Memorial is a little bit off to our right in terms of traction. We should be heading around there, but again, I just want to get around these clouds here. See, the red areas are getting smaller. So yeah, once again, it's in there, so we're heading there. It's actually over there, but we're fine for now. We're about halfway now, so just looking at a couple more minutes. And I'm going to bring my prop back forward because I actually just increased my climb here a bit. that's something I should have done a while ago as well. Switch that off. Air conditioning is working hard. Doesn't seem like it's not working. There we go. I don't know why it wasn't doing anything. That's better. Let's get that temperature down. See, this one's also not doing anything. There we go. The temperature from 35 down to around, so we can actually, if it's 35 outside, let's bump this down to about 23. Right, up to 8,500 feet now. Hopefully we don't have this layer of cloud right over the memorial, because that'll be an issue. So I'm going to level off around 10,000 feet. Be just lower, 9.7-ish. Bring the prop back to 2,000. I believe it's just the other side this ridge. It's a little to our right hand side as well. clouds should be alright. Shouldn't cause us any issues here.
Transporter, you are less than 2 nautical miles from a POI. Stay under 1,000 feet.
I don't see it. I think it's actually just underneath this cloud. It's just off to our left, going to the GPS, so I think it's under this cloud. Go prop full forward again, just in case we need to get out of any trouble, and also to help us slow down. Just need to spot the actual memorial here through the clouds. Is it that down there? I think it's that. Yeah, that's it there. Okay. So we get under this layer of cloud. There it is there.
Okay, turn around the POI as close as possible until they are done taking pictures.
So I'm actually going to get in 2 notches of flaps here. So we can just stick around here. So a little bit over my speed for flaps 2.
Transporter from dispatch. Enough pictures for today. Good job. You can come back.
Alright, there it is there. Hopefully they had pretty long lenses. Okay, so the Isarava Memorial is... Oh, let me just not kill us here, and then I can chat about it. There it is there.
500.
It is a memorial which honors the Australian and Papua New Guinean soldiers that fought a battle here during World War II. This is near the original site of the actual battle, which I can only imagine must have been pretty crazy trying to fight in this terrain. I assume they were fighting the Japanese during World War II. Alright, let's get out of here. We need just some space to climb out.
500.
And we will be on our way back to Port Moresby. Oh, looks like the cloud has cleared a little. So the battle was August 26, 1942. Must have been just foot soldiers fighting here. You wouldn't have been able to get, especially in World War II, tanks or anything in this terrain, I don't think. Yeah, down here maybe, but up into the hills there, I don't think so. Need to get over this ridge again. There's the clouds. Basically, once we clear this ridge, or actually not this close one, the next one, at that point I think we can pretty much start a gentle descent the whole way along. Memorial is just down there in the clouds. Okay, we're heading back to Port Moresby. Actually head this side. Oh, there's more cloud there. once we cleared this ridge, we can start a nice gentle descent. Definitely feel the wind around the mountain here. We'll see, depending on the light, we might even be able to get in a quick sightseeing tour into the kind of harbour area around Port Moresby. We'll see what happens with how much light we have when we get back. We might actually be okay. A bunch of airstrips in here. I think there's one, that might be another one there. This could be another one down here. There's one on this side too, but yeah, we're going to be too close to see that one. Just going to get the autopilot on for a bit. I think we're actually going to land in the opposite direction. I never actually looked when we took off, which is pretty bad, to see what the wind was doing. But if the wind down there is the same as it is here, it should actually land to our right hand side. We're basically perpendicular to the runway at this point. Seemed to be a little bit more cloudy than when we left. think there's going to be enough daylight to do that sightseeing straight away. Might have to do it tomorrow. Through that little layer of cloud. It's nice and hazy out that way as well. let's just back the throttle off a bit. There we go, that's exactly why. The screen's just brightened up, so I think it's officially, the sun is setting. Now we can descend a little quicker as well. I'm going to go back to prop full. Look at the wind. Oh, wind is... It is shifting to come pretty much down the other runway, so... Let's ditch the autopilot. Basically just join a left downwind here. Look how that wind is shifted, that's amazing. Okay, so I did take off from the correct runway, because that is the runway I was given. Okay, just watch this ridge here. Look how the wind is shifted now again. Okay, first stage of flaps. Second stage of flaps. Overshoots. Okay, aim to be at about 85 crossing thresholds. Wind is straight from our left hand side now. flaps coming up. Landing lights and strobes. Alright, welcome back to Port Moresby. So it's about just under an hour's worth of video. So I wonder if we can fit another sightseeing flight in. It's going to be very tight. I don't think so. I think it would be better to maybe do it in the morning. It's already starting to get dark, so I think we'll call it there. We can do that tomorrow morning rather. I should have actually gone condition lever to low, but we're right here already. Okay, there we are, back from our sightseeing. And there we go, our mission is complete.
The tourists seem really happy with their trip today. We have been tagged in a social media post already. 5 stars.
Very nice. Okay, it's something different for today, but back in our trusty Kodiak. But yeah, something different. It's been a while since we did sightseeing. In fact, the last sightseeing we did was out at Nadza towards the bridge. So over in that direction is the actual harbor and the port and all of that. There's some other points of interest to check out there, so we'll do that in another video sometime. But for now, that's going to bring us to the end. What happened to my tires? Why did my textures disappear? Anyway, there, that's better. That's going to bring us to the end of episode 45 of the Neofly series. As always, if you made it this far, thank you so much for watching. Bit of a shorter video today, even though it's almost an hour. But yeah, anyway, if you do want to follow along with the series, you know what to do down below, and hopefully I see you in the next one.